What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andy and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have several quite important news. First of all, I will show you the podcast, the Rob Carter show that explained our current situation in MMTLP fiasco. On top of that, I will show you some updates in 1209 cases. And unfortunately, we have at least one of these cases. It is not cancelled, but it is at least postponed to the time until the MMAT bankruptcy happens. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the link for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. On top of that, if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Patreon account. And for now, guys, I have three tiers. It is Discord access tier, Safe Haven and Gold tier. And if you want to just be in line with all the latest news and with the most recent actions and potential upcoming actions of the US stock market, it is more than enough to join just Discord access. If you want me to cover your personal position and if you want me to create a plan for you to invest in stock market, Safe Haven is for you. The only difference in between these two tiers is that on Safe Haven tier you will have a monthly 30-minute Zoom call session with me. And the Gold tier is for people who want to take the most from my experience and from my knowledge. And in this tier, you will have a 30 minutes weekly Zoom call with me where I will teach you how to beat the market. On top of that, guys, for the members of this tier, I will give my personal signals where to enter and where to leave the position. I will do it when market conditions are more predictable for swing positions. So, and let me give you a sneak peek on the Discord group. You can see that I publish a lot of updates on the market, and as you can see, I even make predictions of its upcoming movements. And if you follow my channel for quite some time, you know that I have a very high level of experience in this type of trades. And guys, in this Discord group, I explain a lot to my patrons, and I do a lot of technical analysis on demand on different assets. Here is the general sentiment of the market on April the 10th. Here is INTC, ISRG. Here is JD, RKLB, MSTR, and other ticker symbols. You can see that I do it pretty much 2 or 3 times a week. And all of my community members know how to benefit out of these market conditions. So, and let's begin today's video with this article that was published by MMTLPresources.com and that reflects the interview and basically the podcast show related to our story. And let me quote you this. And I covered part of this news, basically the announcement of this news just yesterday. And for now we have the podcast itself. So, Junk Savvy was featured guest on the Rob Carter show and discussed the MMTLP fiasco. The Rob Carter Show is a politically focused talk show hosted by Rob Carter, a native of St. Louis, Missouri. Known for its fast-paced, unscripted and candid discussions, the show delves into current events, politics, media dynamics and cultural issues from a common-sense Midwestern perspective. And you can see the link to the show itself on the MMTLPresources.com website or on Real Talk 933 FM Twitter account. And you can see basically the interview starts in the second hour, around 1 hour and 3 minutes in. And guys, Junk Savvy wrote this. Rob, thank you and your team at Real Talk 933 FM for the opportunity to expose your listeners to the MMTLP fiasco. The corruption in our government by our regulators and the criminals they protect infests our country with mistrust and robs investors of their financial freedom and security. And most don't even know it. The more time they delay our resolution, the more we dig. We will continue to expose them together. Welcome to the MMTLP army. And guys, I told you multiple times that we cannot have a bad publicity in our case. Every time when someone the Real Talk Radio Network mentions about our story, and especially in this type of quite interesting podcast, I would say, I have to admit that this podcast, wait a second, it is a quite long podcast, but at the same time, guys, the details that were disclosed in this podcast are also quite interesting. And to be honest, I've almost forgot some of them, at least some of the details, because this saga is extremely, complicated. And this is how we can stay afloat with our problems, and this is the way how we can push our case forward through non-litigational path to the resolution. But guys, we also have, so let me show you another quite interesting and important update, at this time from Junk Savvy herself. She wrote this: is it getting hot in here or is it just me? And she refers to her own tweet, and she basically made the statement about the Metamaterials bankruptcy update. So Metamaterials bankruptcy trustee files export application for approval of stipulated protective order with regard to discovery documents and disclosures for Nasdaq stock markets. And this document basically explains how the sensitive information should be used, and it is basically the document that is trying to hide some information from the broader audience. And on the one hand, it is not the best update, but on the other hand, guys, potentially it might be a pure evidence that the parties in the Metamaterials bankruptcy case want to hide some information that potentially might be used in our MMTLP case, and this might be any type of information, and I assume that potentially it can be even a share count from particular broker-dealers in regards to the position in MMTLP stock. So, and yes, on the one hand, it is not the best news, but on the other hand, potentially it opens another path how we can acquire this information, but I will tell you about this a little bit later. Let me show you another update, and let me show you this. John Burda reposted the tweet from RareDD, and RareDD wrote this in response to the tweet that was made by Securities and Exchange Commission. Don't give your money to a wolf in sheep's clothing. Always check the background of anyone selling you an investment at investor.gov. And RareDD asked a very reasonable question. Did FINRA do a background check on R. Rubinstein before they allowed him membership into FINRA's Market Surveillance Advisory Group? Rubinstein's GTS Securities has been charged with manipulation on every exchange in which they've done business. And while FINRA allowed Rubinstein to utilize his technology to police other HFT firms, GTS was actively involved in manipulation on the New York Stock Exchange and New York Stock Exchange Arca. They eventually negotiated a $10 million fine without having to admit or deny any wrongdoing. And yes, this type of fines, guys, are quite interesting because on the one hand, yes, we have the fact that they can be fined for quite substantial amount of money. But on the other hand, we don't know what was the reason of these fines, and was the wrongdoer itself admitted that they made these so-called actions. And definitely this might be an evidence that they did it, but they cannot, and they basically should not disclose this information, and that is why they can be, let's say, at least partially clean in this statement. So Let me show you another update from RareDD. He wrote this tweet 7 hours ago. FINRA Sam Drady began a bullshit investigation into MMTLP and MMAT on December the 5th of 2022, a day before the first MMTLP corporate action. The SEC utilized CAT data as far back as TRCH for their investigation into the Atlas 8. After more than 2 years since the youth halt of MMTLP, why is there no transparency? What story does the data tell? And guys, if you want to know more about these quite shady actions, you can take a look at RareDD's Twitter account, because he published a video he published a link to his own video where he explained this in details in video format. On top of that, guys, I want to show you another quite interesting tweet. John Burdo reposted this tweet from Christian Shaughnessy, I believe, somewhere here. Well, let me show you right here. Christian Shaughnessy wrote this: "I'm not sure how our financial regulators said all this with a straight face. SEC Commissioner Esther Pierce says US capital markets are the envy of the world and have good regulatory framework. But she said one area where the SEC can do better is to strive towards full participation. We would like to have full involvement by the public in our capital markets," Pierce said. FINRA President and CEO Robert Cook said, "While today's markets are incredibly complicated, we do need a regulatory structure that has more industry voice. Self-regulatory organizations, SROs, such as FINRA, are one of the better ways to accomplish this," according to Cook. SROs can run utilities, reporting systems, and arbitration, which the SEC doesn't typically run, Cook said. The SEC, which plays a supervisory role over FINRA, needs the SRO to be the frontline regulator for broker-dealers. Cook noted that one of his missions, called FINRA Forward, aims to constantly improve and evolve to live in an industry that constantly evolves as well. Cook listed several priorities, which included modernizing the rules, empowering member firm compliance, and helping with cyber and fraud risk. Cook said, "Are the rules getting in the way of running modern business? We don't want to impose unnecessary burdens during our oversight activity." Pierce noted as well the need for this balance and the SEC's need to add value rather than creating more problems. When considering regulation, Pierce said, "Is there a problem that the private market can solve?" Pierce agreed in the essential nature of partnership between the SEC and SROs such as FINRA, and there must be a healthy balance between federal, state, and SRO regulators. At the federal level, she said they must consider who is the right regulator for the various financial products, and at the state level they are the eyes and ears, but we need to do a better job working with these regulators, she said. Lastly, she warned of a risk of the SEC offloading too many responsibilities to FINRA. The SEC needs to be more careful about what we want FINRA to do, she said. We need to keep a pulse on the market. And guys, I have to admit that I have no words how to comment on this news. Let me show you just a couple of comments from, for example, Mark Basile. He wrote this: "No, FINRA should be abolished and its functions absorbed into the SEC. But now they want the foxes guarding the hen house to now run amok at the SEC too. That's taking absurdity to the next level." And yes, guys, how it is even possible that we have so many authorities who has to cover and who has to negotiate and to be a guardian in the stock exchange market? How it is even possible that they have pure conflict of interest and they cover one another? It doesn't make sense in my opinion. So, let me show you another quite interesting, important, and not the best update in our case. We have another docket in Veteran versus Securities and Exchange Commission case that was filed just yesterday. It is an order on motion for protective order and order on motion for reconsideration. And let me show you this in details. So, the order itself. This case is administratively closed pursuant to an automatic bankruptcy stay under this document without requesting the court lift the stay or reopen the case. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Plaintiff Jennifer Vetrano filed two motions. Motion for reconsideration of order administratively closing case and emergency motion for protective order to prevent irreparable harm and safeguard the integrity of the judicial process. While keeping the case administratively closed, the court denies plaintiff's motions. So guys, it is not the best news. Let me quote you further. Because these motions are not properly before the court, it is not necessary to consider them. However, even if the court did, the motions have no merit. First, in plaintiff's motion to reconsider, plaintiff argues her claims are direct rather than derivative, as her injuries arise from her ownership of NextBridge hydrocarbon stock, and she does not seek redress for harm to metamaterials. Further, the automatic stay does not apply here because none of the named defendants are parties to metamaterials bankruptcy proceedings, and plaintiff's claims stem from conduct occurring after metamaterials completed the spin-off into NextBridge hydrocarbons. So guys, I have to admit that it is not the longest document, but the result is not the best one. Let me quote you this. You can see that plaintiff's motion under FRCP 59E for reconsideration of order administratively closing case is denied. And the second one, plaintiff's emergency motion for protective order is denied. And the court reminds plaintiff this case is administratively closed, pending the outcome of case number of case. You can see it right here, filed in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of Nevada. It is so ordered, and you can see the signature of Ronald C. Griffin, and it was signed just 2 days ago. This means, guys, this is the case of bankruptcy of metamaterials, and let me show you the comment of Jennifer Vetrano herself. So she wrote, "As long as I have a chance, I move forward, MMTLP fiasco." According to Block, case stalled by bankruptcy stay. Vetrano's lawsuit is on hold due to metamaterials bankruptcy proceedings in Nevada. This stay prevents any progress until the bankruptcy case is resolved or Vetrano successfully petitions to lift the stay. Well, so unfortunately, we have at least one case that is on hold right now from the 1209 cases. And to be honest, guys, I don't think that Jennifer can lift this stay order, and probably this case might be cancelled in its entirety. But time will tell, and definitely we have to see more updates from Jennifer herself in order to understand what is and what will be her next steps. So let me show you, wait a second, we have another couple of dockets in Spears versus Securities and Exchange Commission case. So, Securities and Exchange Commission filed a motion to dismiss the second amended complaint, and we don't have this document yet available without any payments, but later on probably I will do an update to explain you the details. On top of that, in Wilcott versus Securities and Exchange Commission, we also have another docket that was filed yesterday under the docket number 59. It is a leave to file document, and here is this in details. Opposed motion for leave to file second amended complaint by Contic Wilcott. Motions refer to Judge Roland C. Griffin. And here are several exhibits. Well, previously it was a deficiency notice that, and the main reason of this deficiency notice is that Contic Wilcott exceeded the page limitation of 10 pages. And yes, guys, we have several updates from the litigation path. Not so many of them, I would say, like this, are positive for MMTLP community. But nevertheless, we are still here and we will fight till the very end. And believe me, guys, we still have plenty of lawsuits from Scott Roth, from Daniel Oxer, other members of 1209 community, and definitely this so-called hold in Jennifer Vetrano case is not the end of the story. So I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium